Hey everyone, it's Noah Bitch here. Tonight I have a more serious topic to discuss with you all. And I first would like to thank the extra 17 people that went and were added to my Facebook group, which is It's Noah Bitch, and I'm now up to 120 fans. And I thank you all so very much. You don't know what it means to me to have that kind of support. I'm a little amateur over here, so 120 to me is a good number. Even though it doesn't really show on the YouTube views, but that's for a later date. Um, I wanted to discuss my view of the gay community, and I want to know yours as well. And I want, if you're straight, I don't care. If you're gay, fine. If you're bi, whatever. If you're black, white, Hispanic, whomever you are, I want to know your thoughts. If you hate gay people, tell me why. If you like them and you think that everything that they do is fine, then tell me why. I just would like to know your different opinions on this to see if there's any correlation between mine. Because I actually have seen a little bit of a correlation recently in my little view of it. But what brings this on is that I read a review about Bruno. I went and saw it the other night, by the way. It's funny, but more shocking than funny. Um, and a comment was left on the review that said, the gay community is depressing. And yeah, there's depressing stuff, but I never really would. Well, when I read it, and the first thing that came to my mind is, oh, homophobe. And but of course, we know there's a lot of depressing stuff about the gay community, but to me, there's also lots of good things. But when I got to think about it today, actually in the shower, haha, no, I actually got to think about it. I realized that aside from, HIV and STDs, there is other depressing things about the gay community that's actually a little more depressing than that. And so I kind of want to title this Just a Thought dot 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 acceptance. I did a research paper on this a few years ago. And you're going to see why this kind of comes into. I might have to do this in two parts, but you'll see why this has to do with why someone would say that the gay community is depressing. Um, to me, the reason, I mean, why, let's the first, promiscuity is the first thing that came to my mind that's depressing with the gay community. And I don't want to put every gay man, woman into a box of promiscuity. Not everyone is, not everyone in the gay community is. But what happens is, like in the Bruno movie, what we see about gay people in our what comes to our mind first, what they advertise in a sense is sex. And so when your community, the white community, the black community, the gay community, whatever you are, whatever you usually advertise, let your community, represent you with, that's what the general public will have an opinion of what they see, where we get all these stereotypes from. I don't like stereotypes, but what I don't like is representing yourself, your community, your society, country, I don't care, with bad stereotypes. Because as human beings, we tend to look at these things, they strike us in our mind, and that's the first thing that comes when you say gay. Oh, definitely promiscuous, sleeps around, never had a relationship, or whatever, or crazy into orgies and does crazy drugs and all this. But where it comes from, and I'm sure there's a lot of gay people who are going to hate me for saying this, is the gay community itself. They advertise it. I'm one of those gays that doesn't like to be represented by that. I barely had any relations, and I'm 20 years old. Um, but I have 20-year-old friends who've had their fair share already, and they're only 20. But let me just use, for example, of what the gay community, what you would see if it's a gay magazine. I'm going to show you. I don't want you to get mad yet. Don't get mad yet, because you might know you might be. Here, this is what I get in the gay community when I go. I usually go once a week to a restaurant or something over there. I don't get to go to the bars yet. But seriously, that of course, that of course. What is the correlation here, everybody? Um, Skinny, six pack, fit, sexy. Skinny, six pack and fit and sexy. Skinny, six pack and fit and sexy with wait, and what's also a shirtless? That's another correlation here. this is what I don't care if you go to a gay community to get this, but you could easily, some guy can bring their mother, some girl can bring their sister who's straight, whatever. This is what they're gonna see. This is the first thing they see on a magazine. I mean, I'm not saying it's the first thing they see when you walk in there, but when you pick up a magazine, a general publication, what is being advertised here? But this sex, yeah. So the stereotype stems from this, in my opinion. Now, no, this is the point where you're supposed to comment if you agree, disagree. I want to know why, so I can straighten out, try and understand where my thinking is going, and maybe I can kind of change it. I don't, but once again, let me get this straight with you all. I don't want to put everyone, every gay person is like this. Every gay person is skinny in this. But you know what? It's advertised. You know, when you see a Coke commercial, oh, it's so cool. They got Beyonce singing. Oh, it must be the best stuff ever. You know, that, but it's the same thing. You're being advertised to believe this, that it has to be good because Beyonce drinks it or Britney Spears drinks it, what have you. I don't care. If Britney Spears was advertising, it'd be cocaine. Oh, you know, I'm getting off the track here. Instead of Coke, it'd be cocaine. Um, but back to the topic. I don't, because two parts. I know you guys don't like when I do that. But the first thing they have in some of these magazines, of course, is advertisements. But what strikes me is, of course, for Dunkin' Donuts, we have to have the handsome guy here, skinny, thin, you know, beautiful man, and that's your Dunkin' Donut advertisement. I mean, I would assume you want a fat person because it's Dunkin' Donuts, but you know. And then your six pack here for the club, and then we got a more six pack here, and then what else we got? Everybody. Oh, here we go. Perfect. This is at a bar called Jackhammer. Let me try and get this over here. Okay. Maybe you all can't see too well, but every man on there, it looks like works out a lot. You know, it's great to stay in shape. That's not the point of this conversation. But when the majority of you, the people you hang around, are, you know, fitness gurus and they go to the gym 24 hours a day, what do you think you're gonna do? You'll end up doing the same thing. It's called, you know, like almost like a peer pressure, except you're not, you know, doing drugs. But not everyone wants to work out, and some people that do, who I might actually achieve this, didn't even want to do it. They just did it to fit in, and that's how I feel when I go into the gay community. Is I don't fit in because I don't have this or this, and I might not ever. I'd love to. I'm not exactly an athletic person. I don't even know if I work that hard for it. But when I go to a gay bar, I'll take for example, I went to G Bar, and shout out to you if you watch this, G Bar. um, they're gonna hate me anyway. Where I went there, you know, it's the same thing. And I'm going to tell you, the vast majority of the men in there, the vast majority had six packs, and then they all had their shirt off, and they all got a tan. Some of them were fake tans. Everyone had, you know, muscles and oh, and everything. And they're gorgeous men, don't get me wrong. But you know why half of them probably worked out to that extent? Because the other half there already looked like that, so to keep up, they had to do the same thing. And this is not some fat ass trying to cry that he doesn't have your six pack abs, but I'm gonna tell you, it's just it's no, there's no individuality to me. It really isn't. A lot of them look the same. Everybody looks the same. I just feel like the gay community is advertising so much sex and crap. But there's so many brilliant gay people out there. There's so many. And some of them might actually have the six pack abs. I mean, that's good for them. Point where I'm leading to is, why must this always be the advertisement for homosexuals being thin and muscular? To me, why can't I be on a billboard? I would probably never make the cover of this magazine. But you know what? If I had a TV show, I might make the cover of People magazine. You never know. I mean, some of you out there are saying, oh, this fat kid over there is like hating on all of us and he'll never make it. Whatever, say what you want, but I want to know your opinion. I want to know your opinion. There's going to be a part two because I'm not done yet. I'm not done. Be right back. After this commercial break with Britney Spears. It's Britney, bitch. I want you to buy some Coke. Y'all.